So Shannon, it was a pretty special service and ceremony, powerful.
It was.
Your biggest takeaway from yesterday?
Vanessa Bryant's strength. Skip, people call it different things. They dub this a celebration of life. Some people call it a homegoing service. Whatever you want to call it, it was beautifully done. Not too many speakers, just enough. Not too long, long enough. Skip, she stole the show, if there's such a thing. I think what she did, Skip, and the strength that I saw in her yesterday, I know there's probably not a day that has passed and she got that news that she has not shed a tear.
Oh.
Knowing, as she described him, her best friend, her husband, dad's girl, everything, and how she talked about the daughter and how caring and loving and how thoughtful, and every night got a kiss. And one night she didn't get a kiss because she had fallen asleep because she was exhausted from tending to the two younger kids. And she texted Gigi, and Gigi said, "Mom, you were asleep and I didn't want to disturb you." Those poignant moments, Skip, it gives you a glimpse because most people had never met Gigi. Mm-hmm. And when I pan the audience and Skip, and she's talking about Kobe. Skip, people are crying as if Kobe was their brother. Kobe was their, I'm like, wow. And how she just held it together and painted the picture of who Kobe Bryant was. Skip, every great moment, every moment that Kobe had in his 20-year NBA career, that woman stood by his side. Good, bad, indifferent. She was there. They said when you marry someone, the term is, Skip, you marry someone you can tolerate or you can live with. He married someone he couldn't live without. And they were there, thick and thin. And the way she painted that canvas of what it was like to be his wife and what it was like him as a husband and as a girl's dad, the CEO of the Dad's Girl Club. Skip, it's unbelievable how she was able to hold that together. And the realization, and I'm still sure there are days, Skip, that she wakes up and like, this gotta be a dream. There's no way.
Yep.
But it's reality, and the way she was it was just unbelievable, Skip. And the speakers, obviously, Skip, Jordan had to speak. Man had to speak. Shaq had to. And then had Diana Taurasi and Anushka. Man, and Jordan, he's bawling. As soon as he as soon as he opens his notes, he starts crying. He was the closest, he was the closest to Kobe because we always thought, Skip, Kobe was the closest thing to him. And he's telling the story, Skip, and it made himself human. He's like, I told my wife I wasn't gonna cry because I know y'all gonna put the memes up of me for the next 3 or 4 years. And he's telling the story of how Kobe used to 2, 3 o'clock in the morning. It was annoying at first. And then he realized, man, this dude, he's serious. He wants to be great. And Shaq tells the story about, ain't no I in team, but there is a me. Everybody just painted it, but Vanessa, if there's such a thing as stealing the show, I don't know if you can, but her strength, it came through on full display, and she was unbelievable.
Agreed. My biggest takeaway was that Vanessa Bryant was the biggest star at Staples yesterday, and that was the greatest collection of stars and ex-stars ever in the history of the game we love, basketball.
Yep.
I was just in awe of watching the crowd shot. Oh, he's there, she's there, he's there, and he's there. Everybody was there. And Vanessa just transcended. She rose above. She owned Staples the way her husband often owned it for NBA Finals games. She was Kobe-esque yesterday. And I must admit, I was pretty stunned she spoke at all because I just didn't think she'd be able to, just after a month's passing, to stand up in front of the world, let alone to hold it together and deliver the speech of speeches, the tribute of tributes, to all the points you made. And I wondered, as she spoke, has she ever spoken in public to a group in her life? In her life.
I don't know if I've ever heard her speak.
I haven't.
Maybe in an interview where she's talking to Kobe and how they love each
Maybe.
other. But not to this length.
To this.
You know, and I know a little bit of how hard that is. It's really hard, especially if you've never, ever done that before.
Correct.
And let alone under this circumstance. And she didn't just hold it together. She drove it all the way home.
She did.
And to me, I felt like I got just a powerful little glimpse into why Kobe Bryant chose her to be the mother of his children.
Yep.
That's who you saw on display.
Yes.
That's what he saw in her from the start.
Yes.
And the way she ended her message, the way she brought it all together and then brought it all the way home, and the way she clearly has made some spiritual peace with the loss of not only her husband, but her daughter, it just hit me right in the heart and knocked me back in my chair, and it did bring tears to my eyes.
It did.
Because she said, God knew they couldn't be on earth without each other.
That's what got me.
I know. He had to bring them home to have them together. You can't take one and leave the other. They were this. So
Ever since she was a baby, Skip, and you look at the photos of Kobe's winning, he's got her in his arm. She's tugging at his hat. She's kissing her dad. It was like, and Skip, they got photos when she's on the basketball court.
Yeah.
She has her jersey in her mouth, just like the dad. She has her hands on his hip, standing like he actually stood in the game.
I agree. And again, not trying to impose my beliefs on anyone else, but whatever you believe about God, you want to talk about working in mysterious ways, that could be a really mysterious way, and in a sort of a great bad way. I don't know. It just hit me where, okay, there I can sort of cope with it. And in the end, all I was thinking is just God bless Vanessa and those three daughters,
Right.
the three other daughters. Which brings me to the man you mentioned, Michael Jordan. As you know, huge fan, had the privilege of covering him in Chicago. The Michael I came to know in Chicago, as I've told you many times, and you know this true to be true, he could be a little aloof, he could be distant, he could be intensely private, he could even be a little reclusive, and he could be sometimes as cold-blooded off the court as he always was on the court.
Yes.
So I wondered going into yesterday, and again, to your point, would he be there? I thought, surely he'll be there. But then, better question, would he speak? Michael Jordan, would he speak? I didn't know how close he was with Kobe because he never really talked about it in depth to me. And remember, Michael is Michael.
Yeah.
And if you are perceived in his mind at all as any threat to his legacy, and Kobe was the closest thing to Michael we've ever seen. Kobe tried to be Michael.
He did.
And I didn't know how Michael would feel about that because you remember Michael's Hall of Fame acceptance speech. He just went back down the list of everybody who crossed him.
He ethered everyone.
Everybody.
You're like, Mike, this is your moment to be happy. Why are you taking shots?
Okay, so I wondered, can that Michael Jordan stand up there and show any kind of emotion? He stood up. He spoke way up. He expressed true love for Kobe Bryant that I bought completely. It was 1,000% real.
The thing that I know about the little bit of involvement that I've had with Michael, he can be friendly, but friendly and friends is something entirely different.
Totally different.
Kobe Bryant was a friend of his, and he said, Skip, Skip had said that, Kobe was trying to pick his brain, and he said he calling me at 2 and 3 in the morning. It was annoying at first.
He said it.
And then he came to realize.
And he said he was asking him dumb questions, and he got tired of it.
It
Okay?
was aggravation
Yeah.
at first, but then it was passion.
Okay.
Sometimes Mike can be brutally honest to your face. That's who he is, Skip.
Hey, I know. I have experienced it. And then for Michael Jeffrey Jordan on live national TV, just a ball. He's just balling. He's just.
Yes.
Those were real tears.
Absolutely.
Some people can dredge up actor tears.
Yes.
They weren't actor
No,
tears.
that's real. He was real. That's raw emotion. And for the very first time, Skip, we saw a little bit of that in his Hall of Fame speech because that's where the memes came from. But to see him like this, it humanized him. Because, Skip, we look at Michael, like I said, when I see him, and I still to this day, he doesn't seem real. He's a godly figure. I'm telling you, it's like he's...
No, it's true.
Skip, and everybody says this, it's like he's elevating when he's around you. But if you listen to the guy, Skip, you're looking at the guys that are playing now. Trae Young tweeted, Kobe was Jordan to me.
Sure.
This era,
I got it.
that's their Michael Jordan.
He was. So, of all the tributes yesterday, the one that meant the most to me was that that man showed up and stood up and did that. That's powerful.
Skip, he had to.
Okay. Well, I didn't know if he'd speak. I wasn't sure about that going in because I've been around him too much, and sometimes he's a little standoffish. I'll be there, but I won't participate.
Right.
But he threw heart and soul into this.
Front and center.
That tells you all you need to know in the end about Kobe Bean Bryant.
Thank you for watching. You can subscribe here to get the latest from the show, and be sure to check out more of the best clips from Undisputed, or go watch a few other segments from our other shows on FS1.